So whenever I see Ugo Dre, I just know it's Thursday. It's a good day. So we're going to join the conversation. And when I say we, I mean you and I. All right. We're joining the conversation by sending messages to WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. That is the number to message 0809 444 0981. Also streaming live on YouTube. Use the link youtube.com/smooth981fm. Subscribe and follow and just follow the conversation and leave a comment there too. Use Twitter at smooth981fm. The hashtag is Business Express 981. Efemena is from Stanbic IBTC, and she's a consumer goods analyst, and Ugo Dre is of Naira Metrics. Now, I'll start with just a brief recap of the stock market summary for yesterday. The stock market fell by 0.37% to 27,718.26 points. The month of July was negative, falling by 7.5%. And so far this year, the market is down by 11.81%. So earnings season continues, and we'll be looking at the consumer goods sector. So as most of you are saying, oh, happy new month. Some other people are just worried about their money. But for now, always remember, as we give you on this show, just a disclaimer, just consult your brokerage firm before acting on any stock recommendations you hear on this show. And as Rotus will always say, do your due diligence. Let's kick things off with the brewery sector. And please share your thoughts, guys, on the half year performance, starting with the international breweries. Who goes first?
Okay.
Efemena.
Yeah, sure. So we've seen two results actually from the brewery sector, from the key players, and that's Nigerian breweries and international breweries. I think what we liked about the result was that we saw growth.
Mm-hmm.
International breweries has been the new, fighter in this space. It's been growing volumes at double digits for over 7 years now, and it's continued to grow volumes at this half year results year on year. But what we found interesting is that Nigerian Breweries, who is still the largest player at this time, was also able to recover and grow volumes. So that's positive. It shows us that there's growth
Yeah.
in this sector. What we don't like, and which is something that we've seen across the sector, is the sea of red, and that's speaking to earnings. So earnings have been in decline.
Sea of red.
In the case of international beers, they reported losses. And that's because of two things. At the operating level, operating expenses are higher. You would recall that there's been excise duty increases for the sector, which were effective in June, at the beginning of June.
Okay.
So that definitely impacted margins for international breweries. And also, it has a very leveraged balance sheet. It's had to leverage the balance sheet to achieve the market share growth. It has done so far. So positive at the top line, but still a lot of concerns at the bottom line.
Oh, that's interesting. Ugo, what's your perspective on this?
Yeah, so the beer wars continue right now for a lot of the beer companies. Bottom line is, I would think bottom line is not currently the objective, in as much as they want to be profitable. But when you have a market where there's a lot of competition, the consumer taste is changing. A lot of you people who drink a lot, tend to do
A lot of them.
tend to do a lot more of spirits these days, and people are looking for
Okay.
value kind, brands or value beers. So you rather want to do a cheap beer than a more expensive beer. And these days, the taste is a lot better for value brands. So
How would you know if you don't?
well, that's what I heard. That's
Okay.
what I heard. So the taste is a lot better for value brands. So there's a lot of competition, and so for these guys, they're throwing a lot of money, trying to grow bottom line and secure market share. That really is the objective. And international breweries actually did disrupt the market a few years ago when they came in, and with the merger with AN InBev, that also changed the game because now they have a lot more leverage, they have a lot more capital, economics of scale to also compete, with giants like Nigerian breweries and Guinness. Guinness, for example, even though their result is not what's on display, they've been struggling over the last few years to just come back, to compete profitably. So they've been finding it difficult. Like they just swung back to profit in the last quarter.
Mm.
But for international breweries and Nigerian breweries basically playing defense. They're still the market leader, and it's important for them to jealously keep that market share. So that's why you see top line revenue growing and then bottom line still struggling.
Mm.
And a lot of them are also leveraged as well, borrowed a lot of money
Mm.
just so that they can continue to compete across board. That's why today you see different kind of beers.
Yeah,
You see
different
like good
names.
beers, malts. You get confused. So they're competing within themselves and against competitors. So that's really what's happening here.
Mm.
So for those looking to invest, maybe buy shares in this company,
Mm.
it's a little bit you gotta be, if you're going in here, then you're going in for the long term, because it's basically a long term play, and at the end of the day, there'll probably be winners and losers. So
So when you say long term, like over a year being the
a long
minimum,
term is like 2 years. What do you think,
2 to 5 years.
Um,
Efemena.
So the dynamics here that Ugo has spoken to is really that because there are three main players in the sector, there's really nothing like value beer anymore. It's all mainstream beer right now.
Mm.
But what we find is that prices have not increased in the last 2 years.
Mm.
And because of that, the bottom line is struggling because you have cost inflation, but the brewers are not able to increase the price for their main brand.
Mm.
And so, in terms of what Ugo Dre alluded to, yes, it's a long term play. We're looking 3 years out. I don't see a price increase this year.
Mm.
I am cautiously optimistic that we could see a price increase, maybe at half the rate of inflation. That would be positive for margins. That would help the bottom line. But when I speak to the management of this company, it doesn't look like anyone is in a hurry to increase prices
Which one?
first.
Which one of them? The MBL or Champions Breweries, for instance?
So I currently have coverage on Nigerian breweries,
Okay.
international breweries, and Guinness.
Okay.
So all three recognize the fact that competition is pretty steep.
Mm-hmm.
They have tried to increase prices last year.
Mhm.
Some of you beer drinkers would have seen prices go
Why is
up in
everybody?
June.
Why is everybody on the show looking at me and saying some of you? Look at my
beer
tummy.
prices.
It's not my tummy.
But go on.
Good for you. I
Thank
mean,
you.
beer prices went up in June.
Okay.
But it came back down by July and August because the market did not accept those price increases. So I mean, it really is a long-term play. No one is disputing the fact that Nigeria is still a growing beer market.
Mm.
Whether there is space for three big players, I think it remains in question.
Mm-hmm.
Will one player have to bow out at some point?
Oh, the animals coming to win the fight.
Which is interesting because there is a story out there that is a local competitor looking to enter the market. So that's Golden Guinea Brewers.
Mm.
And it's put out a statement to the stock exchange saying that it said by the end of this last quarter, it would have come back into the market. That hasn't happened, but it still looks to do so by March 2020. If that happens, it certainly makes things a lot more interesting also.
Yes.
So we'll keep looking to that.
Competition is good, especially when still players are very willing to jump into the fray, because I'm a bit worried for them. Business is tough. It's not easy. Like when you have to keep a certain price margin and then you still have competition here and there, and then you're still bothered with ensuring that you maintain equality, in the face of economic realities.
And for a lot of these guys, volume is very important right
Mhm.
now. So in the market where you're not looking to increase prices, and so that you can compete, then volume is important. So they have to ship volumes out, and that's where international breweries seems to be doing a lot better than the others. So they seem to be shipping volumes a whole lot, and they basically are playing very strong in markets around the east and the south as well. So that's giving them heavy inroads. Nigerian breweries, on the other hand, seem to have the growth is a bit flat.
Mm.
I think it was slightly lower if you adjust for excise duties from what I see here.
Yes.
So it was even slightly lower than this time last year. So it's gonna remain this way, like I said. So for a couple of years. So if you invest in these companies, you gotta also look at yourself and ask yourself what kind of returns are you looking for. And then currently, I think in terms of price earnings, they're actually quite expensive. So their multiples are like over 25 or close to 30 times the earnings per share, which if you compare to other stocks might seem a bit expensive, right? So their price earnings multiples are higher, and then their dividend yields are low. So you're asking yourself, why exactly do I want to invest in this company? What do I want to get? Is it that I just want to have have them in my company to sort of like balance my portfolio,
Mhm.
or to give me some kind of inroads into a sector, or just to have stocks from some of the top players in one of the most important sectors in the stock market. So then you move to Champions Breweries. Champion Breweries, I don't know why Nigerian Breweries hasn't acquired them yet though, because I mean they are, I think 80% of their business comes from Nigerian breweries.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Maybe they're allowing them
in as
just
much as they are
work
Champions
independently.
Breweries, they basically do a lot more. I think it's the 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 is it Cork, or was that
Yeah,
what
the crown.
covers, yeah, the crown, yeah, I think that's what they supply to Nigerian breweries or something like that. So, and most of their business, or 80% of their business, is from Nigerian breweries, and they've been struggling over the last few years. And in fact, most times it depends on what the state government wants. Nigerian breweries is actually a shareholder in Champions Breweries, and a few years ago, there was this rumor that they might acquire them, but that hasn't happened. So the share price has taken a beating. At some point, this was a stock that people thought was going to hit 13 naira. This was like 4 5 years ago. Today is like 1 naira something.
So the
You
next
know.
time you pick up a bottle of beer, maybe you might think of investing, so that money would, as you're down in it, you just feel gratified.
Okay, who might pick the bottle?
Who
You?
might? No, not me. Maybe not. Nascon Allied Industries have your results. How's it looking for you, Femina?
Well, like we spoke earlier, things are really tough. The result, I think, underperformed consensus estimates at the top line and bottom line. Certainly, we're looking for a lot more growth in revenues because Nascon opened a new refined salt capacity in the second quarter.
Mm.
And also the edible oil business, which is basically CPO, was supposed to come back on stream and support volumes, and we've not seen that in the second quarter. So it'll be interesting to find out what has happened. But I'm sure you've seen Okomo's result, you've seen Presco's result, and there's a conversation around the impact of smuggled products and smuggled CPO products and
Yes.
how that is impacting these key players.
That's crude palm oil.
Yeah, crude palm oil, and the ability to sell their products into the market and sell their products into the market at the fair price.
Yes.
So that continues to be a challenge for revenues and also margins for edible oil or crude palm oil players.
All right. In 30 seconds, I know that's a bit tough for a stretch. Ugo Dre, what would you say about Fashola's, search for 10 trillion naira bond? It just humbles me when I call that amount.
Well, if you convert it to dollars, is don't worry, you can manage it if you
Fine.
convert it to dollars. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if it's something that he can achieve within this term. Typically, when they ask for bonds like this, it's over a period. It's not something that you expect them to get within a year.
Yeah,
So it's
even
probably
as a lump sum.
yeah over the time lifetime of the regime.
Okay.
What we should actually be concerned about is what we're going to use the bond for. Are we going to use it for the right thing? That's the right infrastructural development that we need, the one that can actually engineer economic growth, right? So because most times when we talk infrastructural development, we tend to look at roads only. So there's a whole lot of things that needs to happen within the country that we need to channel funds to that can help engineer growth, not just general growth, what can actually help the private sector create jobs. So I don't know whether to be optimistic about this. I think we're already over leveraged as a country. There's a lot of debt. What we need to really focus on is growing those revenues.
Thank you.
Yeah.
From what we have already. Thank you so much. Special thanks to you, Efemena, from Stanbic IBTC. She's a consumer goods analyst. So feel free to ask her questions through us, of course, using the hashtag Business Express 981, or you can tweet at them at Stanbic IBTC. Efemena will be very glad to reply. And Ugo Dre, special thanks to you, Ugo Dre from Nairametrics. He'll still be here for Freshly Pressed 91. All right, so stay tuned. Good morning, Lagos.
Business trends beyond the headlines.
Thank you.